How you doing, Portland? It's good to see you. My first time performing here. I've been getting spam emails lately. They're trying to phish me for my information, and the way they're doing it is they're using this weird fear tactic where they're saying, "Is there a child molester living in your neighborhood? Click here to find out." And I was like, what do I care about that? I ain't no fucking kid. If you want to scare me into clicking your link, just say you're my doctor and you found a melanoma. Because there's parts of my body I can't see, and I will believe you. I'm like, oh, it's that spot on the back I can't see. What's going on? It's there, I know it's there. Shit. If you haven't figured out, I'm kind of unpleasant to look at. It's true. It's something I've had to deal with. If you were trying to buy weed from Stepsons of Anarchy here, and I said, yeah, but we have to go to my house to get it, you'd be like, oh, we're cool. I always tell people that I am built like a candle, that I'm pretty hot on top, but the rest looks like melting. And I don't even have any shame about this either. I've rocked my size. I once used my weight to get out of a seatbelt ticket in Reno, Nevada. I said these words to a state trooper's face. I said, I am too fat for the belt. And he just stared at me for 2 minutes like he was RoboCop. And he was using that goddamn digital brain of his to properly assess my lie. He was like, too fat for the belt. 98% probability. On your way, citizen. I do think that I look good from the neck up. I've got this really bitchin' beard and this long, luxurious hair. And the other day though, I was eating my dinner and I looked down at my food and I saw 6 or 8 beard hairs sitting there. And I was like, holy shit. How much beer do I eat in a year? A realistic number is what I'm looking for. Quarter pound? Half pound? And I just noticed that because I was eating mashed potatoes and the beard hair stood out on the white of the potatoes. But if I'd been eating chili or beef stew, those things would have been right down the old wormhole. And they tell you that on the average the American swallows 6 spiders in their sleep during the course of a year, and if that's the case, I'm fucked twice as hard because when I sleep I become a mouth breather. So I'm probably sucking in spiders and beard like it was Orange Julius or Tic Tacs or something like that. I'm probably building a bird's nest in my diaphragm right now as we speak. Although I think that I might process it pretty well because I have yet to craft something that looks like a cat toy. So that's going good. Yeah, the beard. Some people accuse me of having a hipster beard, which is bullshit. This is a beard well earned. Do you know how I got this beard? I was in the 5th grade and I punched a kid in the face and then boom, beard. And now that I'm an adult, I keep it conditioned with rubbing it with single malt scotch WD-40 and the ashes of a Cuban cigar. A beard should be a rite of passage. Ulysses S. Grant got his beard by headbutting 147 Choctaw Indians. That is a fact. That is a fact. But yeah, hipster beard, I don't even know what that word means. It's okay, so I guess one day back in the past, there were hipsters at the Cotton Club and jazz cats and whatever, but now, hipster just means that you're using a bowler hat and goggles as a substitute for a personality. When you see the guy giving out samples at Costco tell a dude in Birkenstocks that he's a hipster, that word has no meaning anymore. I will tell you what I think hipster means. I think that just means that polite white people who are unable to override whatever it is in their brain that makes them need to have to hate something. So they've decided to compromise and hate other white people. They're just walking down the street going, oh, who am I going to oppress today? How about that guy over there? They're oh shit, no, he's Mexican. We can't do that anymore. Besides, look at him, he's working hard. But hey, there's a white guy over there, and that white guy is a different kind of white guy than me white guy, and he's got a neck tattoo that's rapidly morphing into the form of a beard. My beard and my hair are like two of like the best things about me, and I always get compliments on them all the time, but I have to stop people. I'm just like, oh shit, no man, don't compliment me, because what you're looking at here is the results of being both lazy and cheap. Like my best character traits, or my best physical traits are the result of my worst character traits. Cheap and lazy are way up there, and it's always like they're playing poker against each other. One is always raising, and then the other one re-raises. Like not very long ago, I had this debate with myself. I debated whether or not I would take the last $3 in my pocket and use it to pay for a bus to go not very far away because it was uphill the whole way. And like when you're built like me and you have to walk uphill, you have to do that thing every 2 blocks where you just kind of like have to stop and pretend you're window shopping for a little bit, just so you can just get your breath together. Like seriously, I have a load of books that I will never ever read, and that's only because halfway up this hill by my house there's a used bookstore. That's all there is to that. So what I did is I made a compromise with myself, and I said, you know what, Jason Goad, what you're going to do is you are going to walk up that hill, and then when you get to the top, you are going to use that last $3 and you are going to buy yourself a tall can of beer, and that is when I realized that alcoholism had just pushed all in, and I didn't even know he was playing. Oh, man. I think I'm 41 years old, and I have a hard time taking care of myself. I think I have, if there's an opposite to OCD, I think that's what I have. Like the other day, I came home in the middle of the night drunk and just dropped a bunch of taco wrappers on the floor, and I was like, well, I guess those go there now. And then like sometimes when I leave the house in the morning, half of my brain goes, did we shut off the stove? And the other half of my brain goes, shut up, you idiot, if it burns, we can start over. I don't even think I make like the kind of money to have OCD. I mean, aside from behavior medicine, like have you seen what like Swiffer pads and rubber gloves cost? That shit's getting pricey. That is why when I go grocery shop or when I shop, all of my products that I buy have to be multi-use products. That is how cheap whiskey also becomes mouthwash and hand sanitizer. And that is also how my socks become Kleenex. Yeah, I heard the groans. I love getting groans on that because that means you came up with something even worse than I even could. I love that one. Oh man. Yeah, I have a hard time taking care of myself. I've started going to the doctor regularly because I'm over the age of 40, and that's something you have to do. And I went to the doctor not long ago for my physical, and you know what I found out at the doctor? I found out that I am a perfectly healthy, shitty-looking guy. Like, I'm starting to resent the fact that I have no ancillary health defects that come with looking like this. I'm like, what? How is this happening? You guys, my cholesterol was so goddamn low. I couldn't even believe it. I thought we were going to start with like a floor of like 3 bills. I thought that's what we were looking at. No, it's just like moderately a little bit, 10 points higher than they would like. And I was like, oh my God, that's amazing because I know how many Whoppers and beer go into this in the course of a year. Man, I thought he was going to be like Mr. Goad, because like when you're old, when you get over 40, doctors start calling you Mr. instead of like your first name or like Sport or Sparky, whatever they call you when you're a kid. Like I thought it was like Mr. Goad, your liver is grease. We're just going to have to like put in a dipstick there so we can monitor what's happening. Oh man! But the thing that was funny about that though is like. Now, like, I left that doctor's office just going, I'm going to die at a proper age. And then I went right to a McDonald's and I ate 3 bacon, egg, and cheese biscuits. I was like, good cholesterol, well, I better get to fucking that up. How about that, liver? Boom, 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 boom. 3 hot shots right to you, just like Rocky Punch inside the beef. It's fucking killing me, man. I don't know, and then when I grocery shop for some reason, like I always go through the self-checkout line because I don't want these single women to see me carrying the groceries of a deadbeat dad. My groceries look like I literally have just been told I can see my kids again after 3 years and I can't remember what they like. I had a woman come up to me the other day in the grocery store and go, "Oh, man, which Apple Jacks and Easter candy? You must have your kids this weekend. How long have you been divorced?" And then now I'm stuck there because I have to think of an answer that hopefully will get me laid. And I'm like, well, it's been about a year and a half now. The divorce has been really hard on Connor and Kyle. That's why whenever they come over to Dad's house, what I like to do is I like to have the stuff that they want here so that everything is like comfortable for them. And in case you're wondering, we are not going to eat, I am not going to eat this box of Apple Jacks all by myself at midnight while watching reruns of Game of Thrones. If I was a divorced dad, I'd be like the worst divorced dad. Because I would be the divorced dad that like buys their kids the race car bed and puts it together, and then when the kids show up, they're 16. It's like, oh shit, well, I know you're not into this anymore, so if it makes you feel better, how about you just take the mattress and pull it onto the floor, and then you can be just like old dad. All right, I'm going to get out of here really pretty quick, you guys. I'm going to with this. I'm a big TV watcher. That's my thing. I watch Mad Men. I love Mad Men. Anybody else watch Mad Men? Yeah. I'm a little late to the party on Mad Men, but holy shit, those are some good-looking people, man. I swear to God, they're so good-looking that like I start to feel bad about myself if I'm watching Mad Men and I notice I haven't taken a shower. Like, I feel like the characters of Mad Men, if they were watching me watch them, they wouldn't think I was from the future, they'd think I was from the past. They'd be like, oh, check out this guy watching us, man. And they're like, yeah, that's all well and good, but how do we sell scotch to a caveman? And I think, like, out of those, like, Don Draper's, like, the best-looking one of the bunch. I mean, objectively, on a scale of male to female beauty, I think he ranks higher than Miss Holloway. That's just me. And like, my ex-girlfriend, she didn't think Don Draper was that good looking. She was like, I don't know, he just doesn't do it for me. And I'm like, well, shit. I think Don Draper's so good looking every time he's on the screen, I suck in my gut. He's on the screen a lot, you guys. Every episode of those is like an ab regimen. I'm going to have to start working on my lung capacity before I start season 2. But I think there's a little bit of part of me that like might want to make out with Don Draper. I don't know, right back in my lizard brain. But like, you couldn't just like go in for it, like you couldn't just be like, because Don Draper's like a classy guy, he needs a little bit of finesse. You know, you'd have to like finagle the deal a little bit, like me and Don Draper, maybe we're at the gym, and we do a few rounds on the old heavy bag, and we work ourselves up into a lather. And then after that, fuck, who knows, this shit would be on. So I guess what I'm saying is I think Don Draper is so handsome that not only does he have me fantasizing about kissing a guy, he has me daydreaming about exercise.